Aries, welcome to Mama Star X channel and welcome to your tarot reading. So Aries, I don't put any dates on these readings because I want to leave them open. I like for you guys to decide through synchronicity to connect with these messages. Also, this is a general reading. So, I may not describe every situation out there. I connect with the collective of Aries and I try to pull all of the messages that the oracle has to offer. So sometimes it may not make sense. But you have the opportunity to incorporate them in a way that works for you. I also would like to make clear that the intentions behind these readings for me is to be able to provide you with the information that is going to empower you. I notice that many people, they like to hear these readings, and a lot of times it's just to hear the same thing that is already happening to them. And, I'm not here trying to criticize anybody, but I find it that, right now we're going through a major transformation and there are things that are happening in our physical reality that is not necessarily in alignment with what is happening vibrationally. And not until we're able to catch up, we are going to have a really difficult time figuring out what to do and how to have a better control of our emotions. So my purpose as a frequency translator, if you wanna, I can call it that way, because I feel like that's my purpose, is to be able. I mean, we all can do this, okay? But for me, it's about deciphering some of these frequencies that are happening right now and sharing with anybody who is willing to listen to these perspectives. But when I see situations, right now that are, making people stuck and feel stagnant, that's when I pay attention, because a lot of times it has to do with the way you're looking at things. We're going through a major shift in consciousness. So my purpose behind this reading is to provide the information that will allow you to understand from that perspective, that major shift, how to address your own personal challenges. All right, so now that we're clear, let's begin. All right. All right, Aries. So I'm looking at a situation here where, from your perspective, there is a break. Two people are taking a break. One is in a hermit mode and the other one is in the hang mode. I think you're in the hermit mode and the other person is in the hang mode. So the hermit mode, it tells me that, you're clear. It describes a level of awareness that, it relates to knowledge, to understanding, to, a desire to find clarity. And I feel like you have that, because out of the two of you, the person that I see most aware of what they want and, what they're willing to do to be successful in what they want is you. That's how it's being presented here. But then again, it could be the other way around. But I'm gonna follow, what I see here. A lot of times, your cards can represent the energy of the other person too. So I have to keep that in mind, okay? That, your frequencies may be mixed in the cards. But in the element that you are representing in this reading is fire and swords. The other person is more heart But then again, that can change. That's why I do not like to talk about the signs that come out, because anybody can be going through the same thing. And once we understand the type of change that our collective consciousness is moving through right now, you're going to see why, it's kind of silly to wanting to know, oh, which is the sign that is coming out so that I can know my person. We gotta break away from some of these habits that are so limiting in nature. And it does sometimes frustrates me when I hear other readers, because sometimes I like to hear other readers, not because I want to criticize their work, it's because I like to hear other perspectives. I'm a true believer that knowledge it's shared among each one of us, and each one of us have abilities that are wonderful and very, very powerful. So that's my perspective. But when I see thousands of people following a reader where the reader is just repeating the same thing that you already know and that it happened to you, and he's saying, oh, they're going to come back because they're thinking about you and they're loving you and they cannot live without you. It's like, come on, you guys, we need to grow up. I'm not saying that that is impossible and that that's not happening, but is that enough to resolve your problem? Is that all you need in order to feel better so that you can cope with your emotions? Because there's got to be more, at least from my perspective. Anyways, I'm sorry, I'm not trying to scold you, but it is frustrating sometimes. Okay, so I see you in a situation where you're kind of feeling like, I've been here before, I don't want to go back to this. It feels very unsettling. You've kind of had to go on and sort of carry your lessons in this situation and maybe forcefully move on, because somebody here, they are not sure about what they want. Maybe this is somebody who can be very passionate, somebody who is, who's got a lot of fire, but when it comes to be capable of following through, they may have difficulties. And these difficulties can come from personal insecurities as well as fear or cultural nuances, right? A cultural difference between the two of you. But Aries, one of the qualities of Aries is about ideas. I mean, you're a cardinal sign, so it's all about ideas. You're very creative. You have a very creative energy. And you have a lot of ideas here. I feel like you have a lot of ideas. I feel like at some point the both of you share a level of intensity in your connections. I mean, this could talk about if you guys live closer together, about having a lot of fun, a lot of passion, a lot of emotional exchange, where it was very fulfilling for both of you. And it feels like something that might have taken you before about 10 years, you were able to do it in 3 weeks, something like that. Because the reason why that's happening is because of the nature of the energy right now in our reality. So we are learning things a lot faster than what we used to do before, because the frequencies or the structure of our reality, the energies are moving faster, way faster than it used to. So this is the reason why sometimes we feel like, holy shit, where did my day go? Where did my month go? Where did my year go? Things are happening really fast. The same thing is happening with our lessons, our life lessons. We're learning things very quickly. So when we have a connection with somebody, I don't know if you notice, but instead of things, we're trying to take it slow, right? Some of us, because some of us were kind of getting used to our new ideas and our new way of beings. And, it's kind of like, okay, I have to take it slow. But at the same time, things around you is moving very quickly. So you're trying to move slow, and that's a good thing. I'm not saying that that's a bad thing. Taking it slow is good as long as you are also creating balance, right? As long as you're cultivating balance and harmony between your heart and your mind. Because if you begin there, and then everything else will fall into place. But if you're all over the place while you're trying to slow down, and then it's going to be a challenge for you, because the reality that you live in is moving fast. And trying to hold on to old ideas, trying to manipulate things in the way you used to do before, is going to make it worse for you. And right now, according to the way I've been guided to look at portals and frequencies, and this is where I recommend you to go and listen to those videos, we are moving through a major portal that contains two minor portals. I've made quite a few videos about that. I'm going to add them to this video at the end so that if you're interested, you can listen to them. This major portal is all about transformation, but we're not talking about these little transformations that we have become used to, right? I need to change, but when it's time for us to do it, oh no, I'm too lazy. It's just not happening anymore like that. There is a very scorpionic and Plutonian energy, and for those of you who follow astrology, which I am not an astrologer, okay? We know that Pluto is returning. And a lot of people don't know what that means. But what we do know is that Pluto represents major change and major transformation. In what? In our consciousness. So we are very much being affected by Plutonian energy, which talks about the need of needing to purify ourselves at deeper levels. And when we need to purify ourselves, so that we can change and create our reality from a whole new different perspective, that requires you to let go of all that you know in the way you know it. And of course, some of us cannot do it all at once because it's too dramatic, it's too drastic. But there are some of us that we're like, no problem. No problem, because I'm so bored with the way we used to do things and the structures that you used to use before, that I am ready. But there are some of us that were like, no, because I don't know what that change looks like. I need structure, I need repetition, I need habit. So right now we're dealing with relationships, and the nature of what our relationship are right now to what it used to be is day and night. Because we don't know exactly how, as a collective, we want to, what kind of structure we want to create as far as relationship goes. We know that we need to change and we need to let go of the old ones, but we don't know exactly what we're doing right now. So we're playing around. But there's one thing that is important in the middle of this game, and it's harmony, equality, equilibrium. So these are some of the needed frequencies in whatever we're trying to do. And Spirit is asking, hey, whatever you're doing, how are you doing it? Are you receiving as much as you're giving? Is it equal? Does it feel right? Because if it doesn't feel right, you need to reassess your definitions, your values, your self-worth. And then, give that intensity that we give to those ideas so that we can magnify new opportunities. And through those opportunities, decide if that's what we want or if we can do better. Because sometimes, we can want something, and as soon as we get it, we realize, oh, I'm not sure. I didn't want that. Wait. Let me reassess the situation because I didn't want that. So opportunities is not so black and white, okay? So it's not about you needing to take it because there's no more to come. It's about reassessing and asking yourself if this is exactly what you wanted or if you can do better. And I feel like there's an aspect of that in this particular moment. So you know, Spirit is asking, whatever is happening here, does it feel like it's harmonious? Because that's what justice represents. This is not about somebody, you know, coming and asking for forgiveness and everything is peaches. I mean, come on. Let's get with the program. And I'm sorry that I'm being, I don't know, maybe this is too much for an Aries, but I don't think so. I think that you guys are right on, you know, with your your heart's desires. I mean, this is all about your heart's desires. So you're bringing the justice card. This can be the other person, but I feel like it's you. And the question is, does this feel harmonious? If it's not, and then what are you going to do? Yeah, you had a major exchange here. But the fact is that your soul absorbed all the information that it needed to absorb to get to the next level. Now all you have to do is, you know, soothe your mind, soothe the logic, right? That mechanism that is constantly getting involved in the middle of things, because right now that aspect of you is not necessarily as efficient as your instincts are. This is the year of our instincts. Tarot is the high priestess. In numerology is Taurus, and in I'm sorry, in astrology is Taurus, and in numerology is oh shit, wait, I forgot numerology too. You know, sometimes I got so many things going on in my head. Patience, 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 because when we're dealing with the high priestess in each one of us, we need patience. You know, how to work with that operating system, because this is all about instincts, and instincts, you know, sometimes are not saying much, especially in those moments where your mind is going around in circles trying to figure out what to do, right? Have you noticed that? When the mind is too busy up there, you know, it doesn't, you know, it's hard for you to understand what your instincts are telling you. And sometimes our instincts are saying, just chill, just settle down, refocus, change your focus, pay attention to other things. There are other areas of your life that need your attention, but the mind is just going around in circles, you know, thinking about the same thing, wanting to manipulate and force a change in whatever situation you have going on. So, you know, you notice this. Wait a minute, my juice is low. Let me connect to power, because if we're not connected to main power, we cannot do these things. Sorry guys, give me a minute. I thought I had connected. I'm trying to accommodate all my equipment here. Okay, we're connected. Wow, I was pretty much low. Aries, you just out my fuel. All right, so what I'm seeing here, again, I got a little distracted, but coming back to this. So you're dealing with a situation where there was a lot given, and now the universe is asking you, okay, so can you receive? Do you have what it takes to receive? Does the other person has the capabilities of giving and receiving as well? Because this is a dance between the two of you that needs to feel right. It needs to feel equal. Okay? So I see somebody here, and these are mental things, right, that are going on, because we see somebody who's taking initiatives and is great. I mean, this could be somebody who is great at having fun. But when it comes down to getting serious, it's a whole entirely different thing. And that's because they can be a little bit immature. And in that immaturity is somebody who's insecure, who, you know, has these ideas about love that, you know, are just, you know, about what I have. You know, because here we see somebody with the Seven of Pentacles, and is somebody who's sitting on whatever they've planted. So maybe they don't want to change. Maybe they're very comfortable where they're at, or maybe they're afraid, or maybe it's a cultural thing. It could be many things. But what I can see is that ultimately there is a change here. This change can come from you, Aries, where you create an opportunity where the two of you can come together and sort things out. There is that potential in the near future. However, we need to keep in mind the nature of how energy is changing and how quickly is doing it. And this is all about alignment. Okay? And that alignment gets created by the strength that we give to our emotions, the energy that we have moving and going on inside ourselves. So in the way that we are powering those emotions is what creates the magnetic field to come together, okay? Or to attract each other. You see, the language that I'm using is not to work at you're working within yourself, but when it comes to connecting with somebody else, it all comes from whatever stuff you have going on internally and emotionally, how you're empowering those ideas of coming together in regards to your desires, because you can have a desire for a great relationship, but yet the way this person makes you feel, it creates doubt. Now you want to be with this person, but this person, it makes you feel insecure. In the meantime, you have this desire of having a powerful connection. And when the universe looks at those frequencies and sees you thinking about your desire, and then you looking at this person, is not a match. And what do you think the universe is going to do? It's going to bring you, or it's going to try to guide you into finding the same person, or another person, I should say, to find a person that, like you, it's combining and, empowering those feelings in the same manner. But here you are in the physical reality thinking, this is the person, I really want them to be them. And guess what? That person is not feeling their desires in the same manner, or they're not being consistent, because remember, frequencies, it talks about the repetition of an energy, how frequent they repeat themselves. This person is not doing a very good job because they have a lot of insecurities, and they're empowering their insecurities. You, on the other hand, you're empowering your optimism. So now you can see that from a non-physical perspective, whatever you guys got going on is not in perfect alignment for the both of you to come in the physical reality and be a perfect match. So that's why I'm saying there is a very good potential for the two of you to come together in the near future. This person is being represented by the Chariot. You're represented by the 10 of Coins. What could happen then is entirely up to the both of you, but again, you have to keep in mind your heart's desires in that moment. And we're talking about the near future. So for me to say, oh, in the near future it's going to be black and white, I will be lying to you. And anybody that does it is going to be lying to you too. Because the way the energy is moving right now, it's impossible to predict. It's like a 50-50. We can make predictions, right? But it's not because we're sure 100%. It's because we are predicting, we're seeing timelines according to our frequencies, but those timelines can change suddenly because of the way we're changing as a collective. And it can set us in another timeline. That's why I'm saying, like, this stuff is a little complicated. It's not as simple as we see it in these readings. So when you look at the surface, oh yeah, there's two people here, they like each other, they're kind of playing around to see what's going to happen because they would like to make it happen, they would like to create opportunities. But when you look at it from a deeper perspective, there's more to this. And not until we get a little deeper and we get, our feet wet more than we're used to, that we're not going to be more empowered to handle situations like this. Because again, everybody else is going through a similar situation. Why? Because the lesson of the day for the collective is be harmonious. And what a better opportunity to be able to address it and to learn to be harmonious when you are co-creating. For some of you, it's in a romantic relationships. For others of you, it's, I can do this in friendships, or I can do it with my family. I don't know. It depends. But ultimately, we have to learn to do it in every aspect of our lives. Okay? So that's the thing. We have to learn it with our family. We have to learn it with our friends. We have to learn it with society. But we also have to learn it in our romantic relationships. In the order that we do it, I don't know. That's where it's different. But all I can say is that right now, it's a huge thing about needing to learn how to harmonize our connections by being able to give, but also to receive. I hope I made myself clear. So, how do we end this cycle? Well, Aries, you are being represented by the Hierophant and your person by the Ten of Swords. So, as you could see, you're in a better position. You could be initiated into another level of understanding or knowledge that is very satisfying to you. This could also mean that, you're willing to wait, because this could mean a marriage, or it could mean a commitment. You want to do the right thing. You feel that this person is worth it. They do come out as the Emperor sometimes as the Empress. So you're willing to wait. Your other person, in the meantime, it's all in their freaking head. Hopefully they will get out of their head. Hopefully. The oracle here says that for now, things are going to remain a little bit quiet, but there's going to be a change where, something that was like this is now going to change to something else. And here's what we have to keep in mind: the retrogrades, because retrogrades can bring a lot of people from, other incarnations to finish certain agreements. It could also mean that at a soul level, your soul asks for help, with a particular somebody that you have a very strong connection and, affinity, to come and give you a push and help you. And again, once the retrograde is over, all of these things are going to change. And here's where you're going to have a better opportunity to decide with that person if, a deeper connection or a more stable connection is possible. So I'm going to leave it open like that. I mean, there is a beautiful potential here between the two of you. The question is that going to be consistent enough after all of these transformations, after, all these energies of transformation settle down for you guys to make it through or to make it happen. So thank you so much for listening. I wish you the best of luck until next time.